You're listening to The Digital Guy, Bruce Nazarian, on Solar Radio.
Well, it's almost time for a heat wave, but, no, actually, wait, what am I talking about? It's sunny California. We have warmth here all the time. It's one of the reasons why I moved out here. Get away from snow in Michigan. Hi, this is Bruce Nazarian, the Digital Guy. You are perhaps listening to us on the radio. If it's Sunday, you're hearing us live on Solar Radio or on Sky Digital 0129. My thanks to my radio buddy Mike Parlett, who does the show just before me. And we had a very wonderful changeover this week, so, the gods were looking out for us. Stick around for the next 2 hours. We got great music and a special interview coming up at 5 p.m. Pacific Time with none other than radio personality Blake Aaron.
Hey, Dave Koz here, and you're listening to the Digital Guy Radio Show, hosted by my good buddy, Bruce Nazarian.
Indeed. Thank you very much, Dave. Really had a good time checking out the summer horns. And I understand plans are underway for you to do it again next summer. So you can't really say you haven't done nothing because you've done a lot. this is your first time checking out the Digital Guys Show, we want to cordially invite you to say hi. We chat with folks on our Facebook page live during the show, facebook.com/TDG Radio, TDG for the Digital Guy. We'd love to have you drop on by and say hi. Want to say hi to folks that are already out there listening. Magdalena's out there chatting with Donna Whittington, I believe. You are listening to the Digital Guys Show. And we're going to put a little Jeff Lorber in your ear for the next couple of minutes. Take a quick trip off to the Hacienda. Hot new single from a hot new CD. Love this. From the Jeff Lorber Fusion with Jimmy Haslip, Eric Marienthal. This is the Digital Guy Radio Show coming to you live from Los Angeles, California, a.k.a. Hollywood, where in just about 5 months' time or so, we are going to be having the Lemonade Weekend 2.0. More on that in just a bit. Well, we want to take a second and just talk about a couple of things that happened. I was at Vitello's last night in Studio City, really called Toluca Village these days, and that was for the CD release party for my buddy Will Donato, and my friend JJ Sanseverino was there, and so was birthday boy Ricky Lawson, old friend from Detroit, and let's see, we had Eddie Reddick on bass, and Tatang Katindig on keyboards, and man, it was a great band, I got to tell you. Between what Will did, what JJ did, special guests Chase Huna came up on saxophone. Boy, we had all kinds of fun. We had Aisha coming up there and singing a little bit, doing a happy birthday thing. And a lot of our smooth jazz pals from down Spaghettini Way were in the house, including Mikey and Jack Cohen from Smooth Jazz Live. And I saw Becky there, and I saw Kimberly there, and I saw all kind of fun friends there. Steve Belkin and Adam Leibowitz from Intervision were there, and they were all celebrating live music, which is exactly what we like people to do. Get on out and celebrate and support the artists whose music that you love. I tell you that at the end of every one of my shows every week. Take care of the artists whose music that you like, because these days they depend on you to get on out there and buy their CDs and support their live shows, buy those tickets and go out for dinner, etc., do whatever. Great show last night at Vitello's. Looking forward to more of those coming up in the near future, and we're looking forward to nearly 100 artists performing over the course of 4 days at the Lemonade Weekend 2.0. And this is one of those artists that's going to be joining us on our VIP kickoff party. We're talking about Andrew New. Stick around, we got a little more from Andrew coming up later in the show. Everything happens for a reason. Like I said, stick around. We got a lot of more great music between now and the end of our 2 hours with you this week, and that includes a brand new Dennis Poole new music feature, which happens to feature this artist, Andrew New.
change from cold March weather? Come to California starting March 27 for 4 days of music with friends, food, wine, fun and sun in historic Hollywood. The Lemonade Weekend 2 has more than 50 great musicians in some of the most famous locations in town. Plus food, wine, fun things to do and of course sun and lots of stars. It's 4 days of amazing musical events and all for a great cause. Visit lemonadeweekend2.com.
Thank you, Jimmy King. Well, and that means it is time
The
for
Digital Guy's Funky Corner.
That is right. We're starting the Funky Corner off this week with something brand new from our pal Johnny Britt, who was kind enough to come out and play with us at Spaghettini a couple of months back for our George Duke celebration. This is something from his brand new CD. It'll be coming out in the first part of next year. We got a sneak peek of it. Gotta love this. It's called On the Dance Floor. A lot of great music from Johnny Britt on this brand new CD. Johnny Britt, fine singer and trumpeter. Something hot and brand new from trumpeter, singer, and writer and producer Johnny Britt. You may not know that you're familiar with some of Johnny Britt's work if you haven't been following him as a solo artist, But if you've been listening to the latest Jesse J CD, you have heard some of Johnny's fine work on Second Chances is the name of the tune, title track from the CD. And you're listening to him on The Digital Guy.
This is Josie James, and you're listening to my music on The Digital Guy Radio Show, hosted by Bruce Nazarian.
Thank you, Josie. We're very excited about having you and Johnny Britt and a host of other great talented singers and performers on the Saturday Night Lemonade show called the Motortown Hollywood Review.
Just the other day I saw my life pass by my eyes, a big surprise. Deep inside a voice cried out to me, it's time to see your destiny. All my life, the chance I've waited for is knocking at my door. Come on in, I'll prove to you. Look at me. What was in my dream is now reality, and it's time for all to see. Right to the top, I'll never stop, 'cause this is my time. Right to the top, I'll never stop. This is my time. Working hard, I've got to keep it up. No matter what, I'll never stop. I know exactly what I've got to do. It's up to me to see it through. All my life, the chance I've waited for is knocking at my door. Come on in, I'll prove to you. Look at me. What was in my dream is now reality, and it's time for all to see. Right to the top, I'll never stop, 'cause this is my time. Right to the top, I'll never stop. This is my time. For all the world to know, it's my time. I'll never let it go. This is the way it's got to be. My dream is reality. Oh, right to the top. It's my time. Never stop. This is my time. Oh, going to the top, never gonna stop. This is my time. I'll never stop. This is my time. Gotta keep it up, never giving up. No, it's my time. This is my time. I'm going to the top, never gonna stop. Got to keep it up. This is my time. Hey. All my life, a chance I've waited for. Open up the door. It's my time.
Oh, yeah, we are going to have Josie James coming and lending that beautiful voice of hers to the Saturday Night Motortown Hollywood Review show. That is part of the Lemonade Weekend 2.0. That'll be Saturday, March 29th. And, man, have we got a gang of other great performers coming that includes Ray Parker Jr. and Dennis Coffey and the Dramatics and some folks from the P-Funk crew, Lamont Dozier Jr., all the guys from Was Not Was. We're talking Sweet Pea Atkinson and Sir Harry Bowen and Donald Ray Mitchell, and also Harlem Lee and lady singers Kathy Cousins, Carol Hall, Millie Scott, Pat Lewis, Sean Murphy, and a gang of our contemporary jazz friends like Paul Brown and Bob Baldwin and Greg Karukas and David McMurray and Victor Fields and just a whole bunch of folks. That's all part of the Lemonade Weekend 2.0, and that's coming up next March 27th through 30th right here in Hollywood. So get your tickets now so you don't lose out.
You're listening to TDG Radio, your escape from the ordinary.
Thank you very much, Stephanie. That is Stephanie Sales, who, along with Jimmy King, will be coming over from London to help us present some Citrus Music Awards, which is a brand new awards thing that's going to start on Lemonade Friday night, interspersed with the performers from the Lemonade Weekend 2.0 show that just happens to include this man right here, the ever-talented Mr. Bob Baldwin, who we were very thrilled to have sit in with us on Lemonade 1.0, and he's coming to Lemonade 2.0 to do a full set. And he's going to have some great players, I'm sure. If you're not familiar with this particular tune, you certainly should be, because it is the closest thing to what we would call a standard in the jazz world, or even in the contemporary jazz world. That, of course, is Red Clay, originally done by Freddie Hubbard many years ago, but lovingly reinterpreted by Bob Baldwin on his brand new CD called 20, and it is something special.
Something special from the Digital Guy.
As is this, one of the singles from the brand new CD Side by Side from our pals Joel Del Rosario and Sure Will Clark. And Joel and Will are going to be coming to the Lemonade Weekend to be playing as part of the Haven't You Heard segment Friday morning at 12 noon. should definitely check out this CD, Side by Side, from a pair of very talented players, Joel Del Rosario from the Bay Area and Sure Will Clark, originally from New Jersey, who now lives in Las Vegas, I believe. And both of these talented artists are coming to the Lemonade Weekend in Hollywood to play on Friday, March the 28th. But, I bet you they'll be there early and might even maybe sit in during our VIP kickoff party Thursday evening. That's going to happen starting at 7 o'clock. Right after we finish with Blake Aaron, who is going to be bringing his radio show to the event. And we're going to interview Blake tonight at 5 o'clock. And I want to send a special thank you out to Whatever, who sent me this album by a fantastically talented artist named Torsten Goods. And this one also features Magnus Lindgren. Put It Where You Want It, a classic track from the Crusaders. certainly hope that you enjoy that, and I would love to get your feedback on that record. That is from a very talented artist named Torsten Goods, and it comes to us courtesy of our pal Whatever off in Germany, who...
You're listening to the Digital Guy Radio, the best music from around the world.
Who listens to the Digital Guy Show and enjoys it. This is something that we missed out putting in a couple of weeks ago, and my sincere apologies to the artist Turner King. This is very cool. It's called Something Sensual, and this is going to take us on up towards Dennis Poole time with his new music feature. Something Sensual from Turner King. Something Sensual there from Turner King.
The Digital Guy new music feature with Dennis Poole.
Indeed, it is again that place in the show where we recommend a piece of new music suggested by our pal Dennis Poole of smoothjazztherapy.com. And this week, Dennis has gone for a track from Andrew New, who is perhaps best known as the go-to sax man for the likes of Diane Shore and, of course, Bobby Caldwell. Andrew can also be heard on Peter White's current CD, Here We Go, and on Steve Oliver's project, World Citizen, and also on Bobby Caldwell's highly rated collection, House of Cards. And in addition, Andrew has just released his latest solo album. Entitled Everything Happens for a Reason, which you heard a little bit earlier, it is underpinned by a formidable horn section, a full orchestra, and the production skills of Bobby Caldwell, Brian Bromberg, and Steve Oliver. Also included are Rick Braun, Jeff Lorber, and Alex Acuna as special guests for 11 top-notch songs that get right to the heart of the sophisticated side of contemporary jazz. A case in point is Dennis's selection this week, Poolside, which, with an infectious smooth jazz hook, guitar from Steve Oliver, and the most velvety horns you'll hear anywhere, pretty much sums up what Everything Happens for a Reason is all about. Here's Dennis's pick this week, Poolside from Andrew New, who we are looking forward very much to having on the Lemonade Weekend coming up next March. that is Dennis Poole's pick this week, something from Andrew New from his newest CD, no pun intended, Everything Happens for a Reason. That's called Poolside, and I happen to agree with Dennis. That's a very fine track and definitely chock full of tasty musical morsels. We're looking forward to hearing more from Andrew at the Lemonade Weekend next March. As are we also going to hear from this very talented cat, Gabriel Mark Hasselbach, on trumpet and flute, an unusual combination. Of course, the sounds of Jeff Lorber there in the background as they rockin' the rib joint. We had a chance to check out Gabriel's show when he was down at Spaghettini a couple of months back. Had a fantastic band and a fantastic show. And we are very much looking forward to something exactly similar when he comes to visit us at the Lemonade Weekend 2.0 next March. Don't forget, ticket seating gets assigned in the order that you purchase a ticket. So the earlier you buy, the closer you get to the stage at the Lemonade Weekend. You know who else is coming? These folks are coming. a wonderful band from Bavaria called Three Style. Bavaria, that's Munich, if you're prone to look at maps and globes and stuff. Magdalena Kovantseva and her sister Gabriella on drums, and Robert Fertel on guitar. And this is Easily in Love, also featuring Paul Brown. Hi, Magdalena.
You're listening to The Digital Guy, Bruce Nazarian, on Solar Radio. Behind the Music, with The Digital Guy.
And that music means it's about time for us to connect with Blake Aaron, who'll be along in just a little bit. Well, appropriately enough, entitled Come On Over. That's one of my favorite tracks from Blake Aaron, although I got to tell you, he's had such a long career and so many tracks, it's kind of difficult to pick out a favorite, kind of like picking out your favorite child from all the ones that you created. Welcome to the Digital Guy Show, Blake Aaron, from one radio guy to another, and we're happy to have you here.
Oh, thanks, Bruce, for having me. I appreciate it.
No, I've been looking forward to do this for a long time. In fact, I got to tell you, I really felt incredibly bad that back on Lemonade Weekend 1.0 in March 2011, we just couldn't get down to Orange County in time to do your show. So I know you had some of our folks there, but I was very disappointed that I couldn't make it.
That was fun. Yeah, we had a good time. That was a great weekend, and I mean, it really was lemonade out of lemons because I think most people know the story. It was supposed to be a big awards ceremony and a full weekend of concerts, and at the last minute, unfortunately, it was canceled. And then because of the efforts of you and so many other people, boy, it really turned into a fun weekend. And part of that fun weekend was that anthology in San Diego.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we had what turned into an amazing afternoon showcase that brought Jared and Vincent Ingala to the West Coast. And I think a lot of people prior to that had not seen Greg Manning in the flesh, in person as it was, because he's a relatively new artist at the time. And then, of course, as the afternoon progressed, we had Brad Ramber, and we had Archie Rod Jr., and we had UNAM, and then we got to what I had hoped was going to be a half an hour long jam session turned into a 10-minute long jam session. But you know what? What it made up for in the quality and caliber of the musicians that we had, Blake, including yourself and Paul Brown and Rob Tardik and Bob Baldwin, man, you know, it was a sensational cap to the anthology showcase to benefit the Lemonade weekend.
It was, and I think that was the record for how many horn players have ever been on stage with at the same time.
I think you're right. I think as we put it somewhere in the summary that appeared online, like every horn player we could find within 50 square miles of San Diego.
Exactly. that wasn't just summer horns. That was summer horns, winter horns, fall horns. I mean, every horns you could possibly think of.
Exactly. And the best part was they were all great players, and they were all wonderful friends, and have become even bigger friends since then. You know, and in fact, it was really cool to have Elon Trotman fly in all the way from Boston just to show up for 10 minutes, and Tony Exum came in from Colorado, and we're indebted to yourself and all of the local folks, and you know, and Rob was already in town from Toronto working with Paul Brown, so Rob and Paul came down, and you know what? Between that and the night before, the Sea Jazz concert and Peter White's concert at 6 o'clock and Loud Tizer's show at 8 o'clock and the Sunday brunch, it's like everything that we wanted it to be, and thank goodness, you know, we made something happen. Well, like you said, we made lemonade out of the lemons that got dumped on us by the cancellation of the Oasis Awards. But you know what? Lemonade 2.0 is going to be one hell of a bang-up show, and I'm really excited that not only are you playing, but you're bringing your radio show to our hotel.
We are.
And here's your theme
we're
song.
looking forward to that, definitely. And now, since we're definitely going to be in the same geographical area, for sure you have to come on the show.
Yes, I'm very much looking forward to that, because there's no excuse not to be able to walk down the hall to where you're going to be and sit in the show. But you know, the beauty part about it is you've got so many other artists that are coming in from all around the world. You're going to be able to put together a heck of a show, not only with the friends you would normally call, but also all of our friends from around the world that are coming on in to play on the Lemonade weekend. So let me know who you need to get a hold of. We'll hook you up.
Well, thanks. Appreciate that.
We're giving a little listen right here while we're talking to Bumpin' on the West Side, one of my other favorite tracks from yours from a little bit earlier on. But, you know, when I say a little bit earlier on, I'm not really letting the audience know that the fact is you've had CDs out since 2001, and you've been consistently putting them out every couple of years on a schedule that is the best that you could make it, with all the other things that you're doing, which keep you quite busy, needless to say. But we've gone back and listened to all of these, and I have to tell you, man, from one guitar player to another, it's a really wonderful and consistent set of releases, and we're excited for Soul Stories, the one that just came out, that we're going to be playing some from a little bit later on, and hope you have even greater success with that one.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I've been putting out CDs for a while. Pretty much I started when I was a fetus, putting out records. Yeah, Soul Stories, we're very excited about that coming out, and just really looking forward to all the different kinds of songs that we're going to be doing. They're a little bit of an experiment from a little bit of a departure from some of the earlier CDs, so it's going to be great.
Well, listen, there's nothing wrong with experimentation. That's kind of like the soul of having fun with what you do. And from what we've heard from the couple of singles that have come out so far, there are some very interesting and diverse musical directions that you're exploring, which are really refreshing, and I think they're in keeping with the other explorations that other contemporary artists are doing at the same time. I mean, doing the same old thing year after year after year, let's face it, Blake, gets boring.
Sure, it does. And you know what? I'm actually happy to see that contemporary jazz is really starting to evolve, because for a while, you know, it was a little bit... a lot of the artists, I think, felt that they had to fit in a certain window because of there was kind of a corporate structure around a lot of the radio airplay. So what was ending up happening, I don't know if you felt this same kind of a little bit of a, I guess you could say it's a limitation, but what was happening is the concerts were sounding so different than the CDs.
Right.
And I would have people come to concerts and go, wow, I just didn't know that, you know, this was contemporary jazz, this was smooth jazz. If I knew about this, I would have started listening to this, a long time ago, and they really start seeing the energy and the whole just the amazing musicality behind contemporary jazz when they come to see a live performance. And the CDs, I think, up until about, maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago, artists might have been feeling a little bit like they were inside of a box because they had to fit kind of the corporate airplay structure. But now I am seeing artists really starting to take a little bit more chances, and it's really refreshing to see that.
So you've been on radio for a long time. I've been on radio since 2010. You started in 2008. You've had an opportunity to watch the arc of the industry change a little bit. And what's interesting about it is that even though there's less terrestrial radio, there's more internet radio now, and what's very cool about that is it gives the industry a whole lot more flexibility. Listen, we're about to dig a little back into your past and pick up Rumblefish, one of your earlier tunes. So let me spin this up for a little bit, and we'll come back and continue chatting with our guest, Blake Aaron.
Sounds great. Thanks.
That is some mighty tasty guitar picking there, Blake, and it's got a nice funky groove to it. And that's from very early on in your career, if I've got my records here correct.
That is. Not only that, actually, that came from my first CD, very first CD that was never released in 1995, and then I redid it in 2001. So I wrote that back in 95, and that was at a time that I was basically being looked at by GRP Records, and Carl Griffin was the vice president over at GRP, and I put together an EP at that time that included Rumblefish and a few others, and I just completely did it by myself in my studio, and I programmed everything because I didn't have any budget, and they were very interested in me, both Carl Griffin and Tommy LaPuma. Unfortunately, Carl Griffin left GRP Records, and it never came to fruition, but I wanted to take a few songs from that very first CD that I never really did anything with, and then redo them with some live players. So that's Rumblefish, and I still open most of my shows with Rumblefish. It's such a great opening number and gets the audience going, and it's one of my first tunes.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's got a great vibe to it. I picked up on it the minute that I dropped the needle on it and heard it for the first time. Definitely enjoying that, no question about that. Let's fade across into something else from your earlier career. Here's She's So Fine, which you had a tremendous amount of success on. Maybe you might want to talk a little bit about that in just a second. Let's just give them a little opening blast here of the audio. I'm sure they know those notes. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, She's So Fine. That's funny. It's one of these songs. I don't know if you've ever written this song before that you hate, and you go with it. I actually wrote this song, and I just had this melody in my head, and I hated it. And something about it told me just finish it, because it just the melody it wasn't doing anything for me, and I just thought, you know what, let me just keep going ahead with it. And the more and more I added, the more it just grew on me, and the more that it just evolved into this. And I'm really happy that I kept going with it, because I don't know if you ever.
Yeah, because it was only on the charts for weeks and weeks.
It was on the charts for about 8 or 10 weeks, I think. So it was a long time. It was one of the most played songs of the year in 2000. I think it was 2003 or 2004.
Right. Well, we actually sort of snuck in early in the interview, and we were playing tracks from your 2007 CD Desire, which was in the top 20 in the R&R charts, which no longer exist, for about 15 weeks, and number one on the indie charts for about 20 weeks. So look, when we say you've had a long and illustrious career, you've certainly been hitting the charts consistently, and that's not a bad place, my brother.
Well, thank you so much.
Good songs. I'm really glad that you finished this one. Let's fade off here into a little bit of one of your first singles off of Soul Stories, Encantadora with Najee. Really great tune. Let's give it a listen, and then we'll come back and continue the chat. We're having fun here talking with the legendary Blake Aaron of Blake Aaron Radio Show and Guitar Slinger fame here on the Digital Guy Show. I can't tell you the number of times that I spun that record on my radio show. I got to tell you, that's a good single, and we knew when we heard that one coming right out. I said, Blake's on an interesting new path here. This new CD, which has been awaited for a while, is certainly going to be something to be worth waiting for. And you know what? You haven't disappointed us with any of the records from Soul Stories.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And this has definitely taken longer than we anticipated to finish Soul Stories, but I think it's going to be worth the wait. We're very excited about the new things that we're doing on this record.
Well, you should be, because you're crossing some interesting places that artists traditionally, instrumental artists haven't necessarily embraced vocal performances much. But what's interesting with the way that the contemporary jazz scene is changing is that there is more and more opening for vocal performances to show up on records that from artists that were typically instrumental only artists. And you've done that with at least one of the singles from this particular new CD.
That's right. And actually, and you probably know this being a musician yourself, also having the radio show allows me to meet some artists that I may not necessarily see when I'm out on the road. Guys like Spencer Day, who have been on my radio show at least 3 or 4 times. And I met Spencer, and I just really fell in love with the particular quality of his voice. I mean, it's so unusual, and it's almost got that Nat King Cole kind of vibe to it. And he's such a young guy, and he's got that, that 30s and 1930s, 1940s kind of quality to his voice, and it's just a great voice. So while I was actually sitting down writing, I actually was thinking of that song "You're the One for Me" with his voice in mind. I was trying to combine the influences of Sting with, more of a blues, and then really tell a story of a guy falling in love, basically almost in a James Bond kind of setting, like in a casino, and similar to how Sting would tell a story. And the whole time I'm picturing Spencer's voice, on that record. And my vision was right, because I put Spencer on that record, and it was just exactly as I envisioned it.
And we love when that kind of musical inspirational magic comes together, and you literally know from the first second that you push the red button in the studio, and the first notes that come out of his mouth, and the first words that you hear, that this is like working big time. Let's just keep doing this, because it's really good.
Right, absolutely.
Well, that's the fun of production and the fun of being a writer and a creative kind of person, as well as, you've also done sideman gigs for a long time, and you've written for television. And by the way, I'll share a little secret with you that I don't think you and I have ever talked about across the years. You did music for Mad TV for a while.
For 14 years.
That's a long while, yeah.
Yeah.
What you didn't know was I did post-production sound on Mad TV for a number of years in the early days. So,
Did you really?
Yeah, I was doing sound effects for film and television, and it was, it's just one of those things where our paths crossed, and we didn't even know who we were back then, but our careers have crossed before, and I'm very glad that they're crossing the way that they're crossing now, because this is really cool. It's much nicer and much more fun to be chatting with you musician to musician than never having a chance to talk to you, because you're busy off in the studio writing music, and we're in the studio doing mixing.
Wow, I had no idea. We probably were at some of the parties. Did you ever go to any of the Mad TV rap parties?
Not that I remember, but that's because we were usually too doggone busy,
Right.
putting shows out on deadline. Because when you're in audio post, it's like they're always at the last minute and they're always due on air the next day and, the usual stuff. Anyway, listen, in the background, we're listening to the instrumental version of You're My Miracle, which I believe is one of the tunes that you also had a vocal version on.
That's right. There's a guy by the name of Derek Bordeaux, and he is such a great soulful singer. And I play on his gigs, and he plays on my gigs. So what I mean by that is he'll book gigs that are mostly vocal R&B oriented, and he'll use me. I still do sideman gigs because I really love playing with other artists.
Right.
I've been even just recently. I did some stuff for Warren Hill, for Najee, as a sideman because I love just backing those guys up. And Derek Bordeaux is a guy that I've known for several years now, and so I love doing his R&B gigs because he's just such a great singer. And matter of fact, you saw him when you came into the nightclub that one night to invite me to do Lemonade Weekend. That was Derek Bordeaux singing.
I remember that very well. In fact, I was going to remind you that I was hanging out in the back of the room at Kobe there for a long time, listening to the band and enjoying you guys singing, and then we had a chance to chat, whereas I opened up the invitation to you. And I'm very pleased to let everybody know that not only are you bringing the Blake Aaron radio show to Lemonade, and you're going to do that Thursday afternoon from 3 to 6 in your normal time slot, but you're going to be broadcasting live from our hotel, which is way cool. And then on Friday, you're going to be one of our featured musical performers as part of the daytime stuff at the Lemonade Weekend. So, man, we get a double dose of the great Blake Aaron. I'm excited.
That's right. We're looking forward to that. A lot of great artists are playing during the day. I think Chris Dandring is playing also during that same time slot, and a few other guys as well. So I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a party. And I think that what we've set up is, there's 13 musical events starting Thursday night with the kickoff party, and then a number of them on Friday and a number of them on Saturday, and then the Sunday brunch and the special Capitol Records studio tour on Sunday. Over the course of those 13 events, we're going to feature, Blake, including yourself, nearly 100 performing artists who are coming basically to support the Lemonade Weekend benefit idea, which is let's all enjoy a bunch of great music and let's make sure that we gather some money put together to help school music programs, because that's what the whole Lemonade Weekend is all about, to benefit kids.
That's great. That's great that you guys are doing that, and I wish you guys the best with that, because I think that the first Oasis, now, did that have a charitable thing to it on the first Oasis, or is that just your idea with the new Lemonade 2.0?
Well, let's clarify. There was no Oasis. There was Lemonade 1.0, which was
right.
What happened because of Oasis. But no, at the time, we just wanted to get the show underway to make everybody have a weekend of some kind of music. And also, my artists were coming in from the East Coast. I was managing Jared and Vincent Angala at the time, and we got screwed out of playing the showcase. So we built our own showcase, and we said, if we build it, people will come. And sure enough, they did. We're heading towards closing time here, running out of time. But why don't you let people know where they can find you online so they can check out all the great music that you've got and your bios and your notes and your tour dates?
Absolutely. You can find me on BlakeAaron.com, and that's 2 A's in Aaron. And I'm also at BlakeAaronRadioshow.com, and that's specific to all the fun that happens on the radio show. You can listen to previous shows and listen live and all kinds of things. So that's a very fun website to go to. And then, of course, we're on iTunes and CD Baby and all over the place as far as finding the singles, and look out for Soul Stories. That'll be out in just a few months, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody at Lemonade 2.0 next year.
As are we, Blake. I want to thank you very much for taking some time. We are just putting in people's eardrums Groove-O-Matic, and we're going to say thank you very much for dropping by. We'll see you soon. Everybody tune in to the Blake Aaron Radio Show on Thursdays 3 to 6 p.m. on KSBR, and we thank them for their also sending Gary and Kelly to come and do the Saturday morning show from our hotel, so it's going to be a KSBR party. Here is Groove-O-Matic, and Blake, thank you very much, brother. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for having me, Bruce.
Our great pleasure. I want to send out a welcome and a hello to the entire Three Style Band who have now joined us listening in Bavaria. A little bit earlier tonight, they were chatting with Donna Whittington on Color Jazz, and we're pleased as punch to have them listening. If you're a new listener to the Digital Guy Show and you're not familiar with how we do things, since we came back on the air in June, we have been priding ourselves on having an interview. Most of them have been live with a recording artist of note at the top of the second hour of the show. That's at 5 p.m. Pacific time in the West Coast, 1 o'clock in the morning in the UK. And you can hear all of these interviews on our website and in our podcasts. And our website, of course, is tdgradio.net. That's TDG for the Digital Guy, radio.net. And if you look under the BTM menu, you'll find all the interviews. And that has been our special musical interview guest this week, Blake Aaron, fantastic guitarist that he is. Been doing it for a long time, as you can tell. Got a lot of great notes under those fingertips. And we'll be seeing Blake as part of the Lemonade Weekend 2.0 coming up next March. Thanks, Blake.
The Digital Guy Flashback Track.
Flashback Track is where we find something that hasn't been on the air for a while and dust it off for you to hear. And this is definitely one of those tracks, Rocket, from Herbie Hancock. Bet y'all got your dancing shoes on now. Even at 1:25 in the morning in the UK. You're with the Digital Guy live from Hollywood. was some pretty avant-garde stuff for back in the day in 1983. That was from Herbie Hancock's 35th album called Future Shock. And I tell you, people probably never heard anything at all like that. And it ushered in a whole new generation of electro-funk for Herbie. And lots of fantastic recordings that were pretty well groundbreaking. And you know what? They still hold up the test of time to this day. Rocket from Herbie Hancock. And our special guest coming up on the show at Lemonade on Saturday afternoon, the producers panel called Anatomy of a Great Record, is this gentleman, Paul Brown, who I ran into the other night out at Cafe Cordial. And we're trying to cook up something pretty special for Friday night, so keep your fingers crossed, okay? Paul Brown, moment by moment. One of the great earlier tracks from Paul Brown, also one of my favorites of his, from a little while ago here on the Digital Guy Show, another one of our fantastic flashback tracks. And here is another great one. I wonder if you recognize the name, the lady who is singing. Oh, I'm sure you will. This is such a dead giveaway, even though the artist name is Matt Bianco. You know, of course, this is Basha.
This big time ride is all I know. A picture perfect live on the show. Stellar nights that never end, and people claim to be your friend. But you are the one I need. No place I'd rather be. Here only I can breathe. Love is a simple thing for free. Please don't take that away from me. Forgive me if it sounds mundane. What matters now is our ordinary day. Ordinary day. What matters now is our ordinary day. Ordinary day. Ordinary day. Don't say big words or even try. Don't build me castles in the sky. No clever tales, if true, who knows? I choose the plainly spoken prose. You are the one I need. No place I'd rather be. Here only I can breathe. Love is a simple thing for free. Please don't take that away from me. Forgive me if it sounds mundane. What matters now is our ordinary day. Ooh, ordinary day. What matters now is our ordinary day. Ordinary day. Ordinary day. 'Cause you are one I need. There's no place I'd rather be. 'Cause love is free and simple. Please, you can't take that away from me. Excuse me if it's all the same. What matters now is our ordinary day. What matters now is our ordinary day. Ordinary day. Ordinary day. What matters now is our ordinary day. Ordinary day.
Well, it's not going to be an ordinary day when the Lemonade Weekend comes to town next March. And it's never an ordinary day when you join us here for the Digital Guy Radio Show. We are always happy to have you join us. And one of the things that we enjoy doing is tossing a little music education your way in the form of great music that you may not have heard. And the track that I've got queued up for you next is exactly one of those kinds of tracks. I think you're going to find it musically quite stimulating. This is from the fantastic drummer Idris Muhammad, a beautiful track called Peace of Mind from an album called Power of Soul from way back in 1974. And this features some amazing sidemen: Grover Washington Jr., Bob James, Gary King, Joe Beck, Ralph McDonald, Randy Brecker. You've got to listen to this. This is just an amazing, amazing track. that is just simply an amazing piece of music from an amazing musical aggregation. If you're checking out our Facebook page, I just posted the credits for that particular composition. In fact, that entire LP. That is Idris Muhammad. Power of Soul LP from back in 1974.
Hi, this is Roberto Valle, and you're listening to my music on the Digital Guy Radio Show, hosted by my buddy Bruce Nazarian.
And we've got yet another wonderful track from Roberto Valle's brand new CD called Boom, Boom, Boom. And this is very appropriate for us to cool down with as we begin our return visit back to the barn to put the show away for another week and just let everybody cool down to their normal course of business for the course of the week. But don't forget, we are rebroadcast about 8 times. Here's Gypsy Dream, Roberto Valle. That was the very first track that I gave a listen to when I was auditioning Roberto's CD. And the minute that I heard that, I knew that that was something very special, and it boded very well for the quality of what I came to expect from everything on the CD, and I wasn't disappointed. And a lot of people have been really tuning in to this particular brand new CD,
You're
Boom
listening
Boom
to
Boom,
the Digital Guy.
from Roberto Valli. And I hear by those tones the opening segments of a track from Roberto Falaschi, who, by the way, will be coming all the way from Europe, from his home in France, to play at the Lemonade Weekend next March. This is Waiting in Vain, a track that he put together a little while ago with Rocco Ventrella, who is also coming all the way from Italy to perform at the Lemonade Weekend. So on behalf of myself, Dennis Poole, everybody involved with the show, as we head around towards closing time, we want to say thank you very much for tuning in. Please spread the word. Tell your friends if you like what you hear. We'd like to think we have a very innovative and unique radio show where we expose you to the best music from all around the world, or as we call it, your escape from ordinary. I'm Bruce Nazarian, the Digital Guy. Look forward to joining you next time. In the meantime, please look after and take good care of the artists whose music that you love. Support them. Buy their records, go see them live, buy their merchandise, etc., because they're dependent upon you. See you next week.